Hello and welcome. This is going to be the start of a series where I highlight older games that are getting a new coat of paint from some dedicated fans and developers. This is Retro Revival, and today I want to talk about arguably one of the greatest games of all time, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Not the 64 version that everyone knows and loves, but the PC port that goes by the name Ship of Harkinian. This is a true port, it's not emulation, and it comes with all the benefits of that. That means full 4K, widescreen support, over 300 frames a second, loads of quality of life improvements, and the big one for me, mod support. For a little background, the source code for Ocarina of Time was made available by the Zelda reverse engineering team, and then a group called Harbor Masters compiled it into what we have now. They released a Windows version in March of 22, and since then support's been added for Linux, Mac, Android, even Wii U and Switch. And you can play this on just about anything. I have it running on my phone right now. Setting it up is really quick. You just go to shipofharkinian.com. They've got a setup guide that you can follow. It's a 3-step process no matter what your system is, and then you're ready to go. You will need a Nintendo 64 ROM, and you'll have to dump that yourself. If I wanted to go over everything this port could do, I'd be here for days. So I'll show my favorites and direct comparisons to the original. If there are any features I left out, or if you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer them all. First, mods. This is my favorite because the community around it is so creative and passionate. All the mods can be found at Game Banana, and that'll be linked in the description. The community for this game has made everything from something as small as a mod to change the thickness of the magic meter, to new items, to full model and texture replacements for everything in the game. Some other mods bring back unused animations and attacks that they found in the source code that were never used in the full game, and some more add new attacks entirely that they thought would be fun. I've tried a little bit of everything, and I'm going to talk about two that I really enjoy. The 3DS overhaul and the Ocarina of Time Reloaded overhaul. What's been shown so far has all been a mix of the original 64 and Ocarina of Time Reloaded. With this, everything in the game has been upscaled to 4K. It doesn't use new models or new animations, so it feels a lot more true to the original. I think the night sky and the title screen on this one look the best of any of them. The only downside to this one is that the mod pack by itself is 22 gigabytes, which is over 40 times the size of the port. So if you're putting it on, say, a Switch or your phone, it's really going to add up. But because it is more true to the original, I would recommend this one to anyone coming back to the game from the 64 who still wants it to feel close to the original. Now, if you're introducing someone to the game for the first time, playing it for the first time yourself, or if you played the 3DS version first, I would recommend this one. The enhanced 3DS experience. It's taken everything from the 3DS version and made it better. And since you can run it in 4K at 60 frames a second, it really can't be beat. Hyrule Field and Castle Town look amazing, and Link looks exactly how I imagined him as a kid on the 64. If you want to go one step further, there are some preset files for a tool called Reshade that can add even more depth to the new graphics. Next are some of the upgrades it comes with out of the box. You can just toggle these on and off. You press escape and this nice little menu pops up to control everything. You can adjust the frame rate from 20 frames a second of the original all the way up to 360. You can mess with the aspect ratio to fit whatever you like, and you can change the resolution from the original 240p of the 64 to a beautiful 4K. The controls are fully customizable. You can even change what buttons control the Ocarina's notes, like using the D-pad to play instead of the joystick, so it feels closer to the original C buttons. There are also pages and pages of what they have labeled as enhancements to go through, so I'll quickly touch on some of them. Autosave has been added, which helps a lot for people who don't have as much time to play as they'd like. No more long runs back to where you died, or if you're just gaming for a few minutes on your phone, you can shut it off right then and there. No need to wait and save or anything like that. You can make the default response of that owl that you understood it, so you don't get stuck in that loop ever again. Some more time-saving settings are selecting text speed, skipping cutscenes. I don't recommend doing this one unless you've played recently because you will get lost. Changing pushing and climbing speed, skipping item pickup messages, and skipping Ocarina song playbacks. But let's be real, who's using that one? A few others that I think should be mentioned are equipping items to the D-pad, and this does not affect the Ocarina being played with the D-pad. They can be used simultaneously. Allowing boots and tunics to be assigned to the C buttons like the 3DS version, and allowing multiple arrow types to be equipped at once. Now this barely scratches the surface of all the settings they've added to this game, so I hope that's doing it justice while we move on to the next and last part. Difficulty and modes. The difficulty on this can be adjusted in a lot of ways, and for people who have beaten the game a few times, this can really breathe new life into a replay. All forms of damage can be adjusted from 1 to 250 times the original. Drops can be removed entirely or just limited. Enemy speed can be doubled, and for really hardcore players, you can have it delete your save file on death like a modern game's honor mode. For special modes, it comes with a built-in randomizer with different difficulties that can be attached to a save file at start, a boss rush mode, which is exactly what it sounds like, and a two-player mode that works somewhat similar to Super Mario Galaxy's two-player mode, where one player controls Link and the second player controls a fairy named Ivan and just kind of does random stuff. You can mirror the world in a lot of different ways as well, going so far as to randomly swap the mirror effect on or off at every scene change, which gets wild. And you can add up to 10 new and unique traps to surprise you as you go along, like freeze, burn, shock, and death traps to name a few. There's something for everybody in this port, and the game looks and runs great on just about any device. So whether you're playing for the first time or returning for the 100th time, I think Ship of Harkinian is the definitive way to play Ocarina of Time in 2026. Until the alleged remake comes out, that is. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to continue to refine and improve this series I'm tentatively calling Retro Revival. So if you enjoyed this and you're interested in more, drop a recommendation for my next one in the comments and stay tuned for more.